Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Thursday afternoon episode of Ted's Brew, Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at a drink that I'm particularly looking forward to. And this is a drink that I've always kind of enjoyed. Now, we're going to be taking a look today, as I'm sure you can kind of tell by the glass here, at something to do with Guinness. Now, I reviewed Draft Guinness a long time ago, and I gave it only like a 7.5 out of 10. I think my opinion of it has actually gone up since then. So I probably will do a re-review of it at some point soon. But instead we're going to be looking at something a little bit more recent by Open Gate Brewery, and that's going to be the version of Guinness that has cold coffee in it. Yes, this is a cold brew coffee flavoured beer version of Guinness, and I'm not really sure what to think about it, because with these kind of sort of high concept beers, you usually find them to be more successful with kind of smaller craft breweries. When larger mainstream breweries like Open Gate do them, it can be really hit and miss. There have been some good examples of this being done well, like Hiver have done the honey flavoured beer market pretty well, and so I can go into this with some positivity, but I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. That being said, I do like cold brew coffee. I love Guinness, so I'm interested to see what this is like. And I've got to say, while I like the design of the can for normal Guinness, the design of this can, it's got that rich auburn sort of darkness that you associate with Guinness, and you've got that wisps of coffee flavoured colour in there. It looks damn fine. And I've got to say, for something so mainstream, this looks very well designed. So good, solid 10 out of 10. Simple, but you know what you're getting into with the packaging. So I was going to say as well, for a pack of 4 of these, as far as I'm aware, they're only being sold at Tesco at the moment. And for a pack of 4 of these, it's £6 at the moment. I'm just trying to see what the ABV of this one is. It's 4%, which I think is around about the same region as the standard Guinness. Oh, so, just prevent it from fizzing over too much. Oh, bloody hell, look what I've done. Oh, great. Right, we'll leave that to settle down. Wow, holy crap. I can already smell that coffee smell. That is quite strong. Hang on, let's have a sniff of this. Whew! Wow. Yeah, that coffee smell is actually quite... that is really prominent. Like, I thought with a drink like this, because you usually feel like the concept flavour behind the main part of the beer is usually, like, pretty weak, but coffee in this, it's so prominent. I'm gonna say this is a really nice smelling beer. I know a lot of people don't like the smell of cold brew coffee, and that's fair enough, but I love it personally. Let's see what the hue is like. It kind of looks like a more sort of like say a more, it basically looks just like normal Guinness. I'd say the only thing is that the sort of like the cloudiness coming down here is a little bit more of like a creamier sort of colour to it, but it looks very handsome indeed. So with the smell in mind, I'm going to say this probably smells slightly better than the original, which itself smells very handsome indeed. So I'm going to give the smell of this, I'm going to give the nose a good 9 out of 10. There's a sort of slight after smell there with this sort of like tint of sweetness that I'm not entirely sure about. So, you know, that's not, it's not a perfect nose, but it does smell bloody good. So I'll give it a good solid 9 out of 10 for the nose. But before we taste it, quick palate cleanser of water. And then in reference to tomorrow, I might not do I'm not going, it'd be debatable if I'm going out with my colleagues after work, but I might still just like not do an episode tomorrow anyway, just to have a bit of a rest. But I'll probably do at least 1 or 2 episodes this coming weekend anyway. But to everyone watching at home, hope you have a good weekend ahead. Bottoms up. It's all right. Now, here's the thing. And the main question I would say in people's minds is it as good as the version of Guinness that everyone is more familiar with? I'm going to say no. That being said, this is better than I thought it was going to be. It's got a really nice creamy texture to it. I get the feeling like I'm drinking a smooth alcoholic cold brew. The texture just isn't quite as complimenting to the flavour as it is with the normal version of Guinness. And as with the nose, it kind of has this odd sort of sweet aftertaste, which isn't horrible, but it just kind of sort of like, it doesn't really cap off the flavour as well as it should do. The texture's a little bit underwhelming, but it's not horrible at all. It's very palatable, and it goes down very easily. I'm trying to think, because it's not as good as the normal version of Guinness, but I think it's not that much worse. It's not miles behind. It's just not quite as good. The thing is, I do actually quite like it when sort of bigger mainstream breweries do stuff like this, because it shows a little bit of inventiveness and sort of the ability to sort of try and think outside their usual comfort zone. So I like the idea of it, and I think a coffee flavoured stout like this will work. And this is actually a good one. I can taste the coffee more so in the aftertaste, with sort of a slight sort of rich burnt oboe nuttiness, and then the flavour of the Guinness as always is nice and pleasant. I just feel that the flavours could be a bit more pronounced and everything could be sort of brewed together a little bit more smoothly. But that being said, in principle, everything that's done here is done well. It just could be a little bit more impressive and a little bit more expressive in general. So I can't really massively slate it. It's definitely not quite as good as the original version of Guinness anyway. So I'll give it a good... like 6.5, 7 out of 10. It's decent. It's just not blowing my mind, really. But I am very much glad I've tried it. I think if they actually made the coffee part of it a little bit stronger and sort of did away with that sweet aftertaste at the end, as well as maybe making the texture a bit more like how it is in the normal version of Guinness, this would be climbing up to like an 8.5 out of 10 at least. But as it is, it's still a good drink, and I would actually recommend it because you might enjoy it, particularly for those out there who like cold brew coffee. But that's just my opinion. If you guys have any opinions you agreed or disagreed with in this video, leave them in the comments section down below, as well as any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Brew Cellar. If you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to all that in the video description down below. And if you like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. But until next time, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Brew Cellar. Bye bye for now.